what up, all my fight fans? We got some interesting news going on in the MMA world. There's a lot of little things that have been happening, a lot of news and all kinds of stuff that's been breaking and such. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it, shall we? First up on the news, we hear this rumor about now Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. It's not even a rumor, I should say. It's about the fact that Dana White is no longer interested in that fight. The fact that, honestly, I believe he may have mentioned that Conor McGregor has not fought in well over a few years. He has not fought since 2021, where he lost to Dustin Poirier, I believe, where he broke his ankle. So I don't believe Dana White's that interested in the fight anymore. Those guys were scheduled to fight. Those guys did an Ultimate Fighter together, and those guys had all this stuff building up to fight each other, and it doesn't look like it's going to be transitioning anymore. So with that being said, what's going to happen next? Well, is Conor McGregor even going to return? And if he is going to return, who is he going to fight against? And when is he going to fight? Is he going to be on that White House card? Because it sounds like he's very determined to be on that White House card. Like, he really, really wants to be there. So, I mean, there's still a good list of fighters that he could face. And some opponents that could actually make him look really, really good. All due respect to Michael Chandler, I mean, I believe, it's a good fight for Conor McGregor, but we all know Michael Chandler is a really, really good wrestler, even though he doesn't use much of his wrestling, but still really, really good. And he can make it in somewhat of a boring fight where he can constantly take Conor McGregor down, and he could really make Conor McGregor tired, and make Conor McGregor very exhausted where he does not want to strike anymore. Just all these other things that could happen in that fight. And the fact that Conor McGregor's been out so long, we need something that's going to be a little bit better and it's going to make him look good. Now, there's been rumors that Jorge Masvidal might get that fight. Jorge Masvidal is a big Trump supporter. Trump really enjoys Jorge Masvidal's company. So that would actually be a very good fight, a very exciting fight. Both stand-up fighters, both fighters who love to throw down and love to brawl, and both fighters who are very capable of winning and actually can actually win. Or we can finally get that Nate Diaz trilogy. It's literally going to be 8 years in the making. These guys fought twice in 2016 and have not seen each other since. And it just sucks because they're both one apiece. They both gave us some really great fights, and we all want to see that fight. So that's what I want to see for Conor McGregor. I want to see him return to one of these guys. A big payday, a big massive fight. Not saying Michael Chandler wouldn't be massive. Not saying Michael Chandler wouldn't be exciting, but I'd rather see that. I'd rather see a Nate Diaz or a Jorge Masvidal, honestly. My personal opinion, definitely would like to hear your guys's. As far as Michael Chandler goes, it's unfortunate. Like, the guy was waiting so long. He actually took some time off his career to make the fight happen with Conor, and just, nothing transpired. And ever since then, he's been on a bit of a downward skid. We saw him get completely annihilated against Paddy Pimblett. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to do next for Michael Chandler. Maybe give him somewhere down the line, maybe another Dan Hooker rematch. I mean, that's something that we could possibly see. I honestly do not know what next. I mean, I cannot see a lightweight championship in the making anytime soon. I mean, I hear Donald Cerrone wants to come back. I mean, there's just so many fights that he can have, but nothing that high caliber of a Conor McGregor. I just don't see it happening. Well, there's that one, guys. Also, it seems like Dana White is starting to get a little more interested in the Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira fight. I mean, with the whole heavyweight division all in chaos right now, with Tom Aspinall gone for his eye surgery, we do not know what's really going to happen. We do not know what's going to really transpire. So I guess we do need some type of action to happen within the heavyweights. And I guess the biggest fights that we could make at this moment would be Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones. Jon Jones being the greatest of all time in many people's eyes. Alex Pereira on his way to being one of the greatest of all time, because he's on his way to fighting for a third championship belt. So, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not make it? I was not a big fan of it. I already know what the fight's going to look like. We're going to see Jon Jones pretty much maul Alex Pereira. We're going to see him pretty much just take him down at will, no problem. I mean, we all know, like, Alex Pereira is pretty much a kickboxer. He's not really necessarily known for his grappling skills. Even though he has some good grappling skills, we saw what he was able to do against Ankalaev, but Ankalaev is definitely cannot carry Jon Jones's belt whatsoever. regarding grappling. You know, John Jones is on a different level. So, but if that's the fight we can make for the White House, if that's the fight that we can actually happen until we get this whole heavyweight situation taken care of, then why not? You know, why not? Let's make it happen. Also, unfortunate news, we hear about Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. Pretty much the fight is now postponed due to the neck surgery for Kayla Harrison. You know, the fight was scheduled this coming weekend. This coming weekend. We're Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, interim lightweight championship of the world. It was going to be a great fight, probably top 5 greatest female fights of all time. And unfortunately, we're not going to get it due to the neck injury of Kayla Harrison. It's saying that she's going to be out for at least 6 months, if not longer. I mean, neck injury is definitely not something you want to play with. You know, you don't want to rush that. You want to take your time and get everything together and get your proper training in, get your proper rest in, you know, because again, you're not fighting against some other person, some low-level opponent. You're fighting against one of the greatest of all time. You know, you're fighting against Amanda Nunes, by far the best female fighter of all time. So hopefully that fight can get made sometime later on this year. I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. More likely, it sounds like that fight might get made for the White House. How convenient that is, but I don't know what's going to end up happening. I do want to see that fight. That's all I do know. I want to see that fight. Excuse me, guys. I do want to make sure that fight does get made. Drop the phone there. So what else is on the news? Well, I mean, there's also talks about all these other fights being made, and there's one fight that just got made was Israel Adesanya taking on Joe Pyfer. Now, a lot of people are not too happy with it. A lot of people are not too excited for that fight to be made. I'm not myself. You know, Joe Pyfer, he's a decent fighter, but not really much of a name, you know, and I guess Israel Adesanya is on his way to wanting to maybe make a name for himself again, maybe try his best to build his name up again, because he is on a 3 fights in a row losing skid. He lost to Sean Strickland, he lost to DDP, and then he lost to Imavov. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wanted to take some time. He did take some time. I believe he took pretty much last year off, except for February, where he did lose to Imavov. And by the time the fight does take place, it'll be a whole year where the fight between him and Joe Pyfer, you know, gets made. By the time that fight happens, it'll be a whole year for Israel Adesanya. So I'm, again, not very excited for it. I would love to have seen him against maybe a Brendan Allen or maybe a RDR, I believe it is. Yeah, there's a few other fighters that I would have really preferred him to see him go to toe with, but it just that's not what's going on. That's not what's happening right now. So it is what it is. I mean, I just hope Israel Adesanya can bounce back a little bit. I mean, nothing against Joe Pyfer, but just I feel like Israel Adesanya has more in the gas tank. He has more to show us and whatnot. So yeah, I really would love to see him get a victory and start bouncing back and maybe possibly fight for that championship belt once again, you know, because we need some action from these guys 100%. Also, talking about the middleweight division, we're in talks and hearing about Khamzat Chimaev wanting to face Alex Pereira. Are they going to make that fight for the White House? You know, I already just mentioned Dana White talking about Alex Pereira and John Jones. So I really don't see that fight happening whatsoever, only due to the fact that, you know, Khamzat just won the belt. Khamzat Chimaev literally just became the middleweight champion. Not literally, but became the middleweight champion of the world back in, I believe it was August, and has not defended it. And I don't feel like he's going to defend it anytime soon, because I know Ramadan's coming up. And yeah, when it comes to the guys who are, I believe it's the Muslim belief, for those like Khamzat Chimaev, Israel Adesanya, Islam Makhachev, yeah, those guys have a different belief, and where they don't really necessarily fight during that time. It's like from February to April or March to April, something within that time frame. So I don't see it happening, and also due to the fact that I believe Brendan Schaub, or I believe it was Josh Thompson, one of the other guys I remember mentioning that they might not want to ruin somebody that is a moneymaker for them, which is Alex Pereira. And we all see how Khamzat Chimaev is. He is such a beast when it comes to grappling. He may just very well out-grapple Alex Pereira, and then we might end up seeing another DDP style of a fight where it was just pretty much grappling. Now, it's still different, still very different. I mean, we're talking about 185, or not 185. We're talking about 85 where Khamzat Chimaev performed at. Now this is 205 where the strength might be a different situation, different for Khamzat Chimaev to handle, because he's never faced anybody that strong before or that big before. Now, Alex Pereira, I'm not too sure what he wants to do. He is the light heavyweight champion of the world. He has not defended it, but is not planning on defending it, I believe, this year. But he has not even relinquished the belt either. He is still the champion of the world. So who knows what he plans on doing with the belt? Who knows what he plans on doing in 2026? I know he does want to go up to middleweight. To heavyweight, but he still holds the light heavyweight championship of the world. So who knows? Maybe he wants to defend it once more before going up to heavyweight. I mean, me personally, I'd rather him make his heavyweight debut against Tom Aspinall, because that would be a much more fun fight, a much more better fight, a much more easier fight for him personally. And then he could be one of the greatest of all time and become a three division champion of the world. So, but anyways, as far as Khamzat goes, he needs to clear out his division a little bit. At least defend the belt a couple times before he can actually say he wants to move up. So these guys who win the belts, they just want to move up right away, and nothing ends up happening. It's just like they win the belt, they want to move up. Win the belt, they want to move up. At least defended it once. Where Ilia Topuria, I know he moved up pretty quick, but he actually defended the belt against Max Holloway. And, he had two really great wins, and I guess there was really no reason for him to get another defense, because any other names out there really weren't that great of a names for him. And speaking of Ilia Topuria, he has mentioned already that he does plan on coming back this year. He's been going through it himself. He's been talking a lot regarding what's been happening to him outside the cage, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what's going on with him inside the cage. And he's talking about returning this year. He's looking at the White House card. I'm sure that's what he wants to do, whether it be July or August, somewhere in that time frame. But I'm sure he wants to get on that White House card. And it doesn't look like we are going to get that Islam Makhachev fight. It really doesn't look like we're going to get that. It looks like we are going to get him the winner of Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. That fight's coming up soon. We're going to break that fight down as we get closer. But, it's going to be a good fight, either or, because you got Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria, who have heat between them, and you got Justin Gaethje, the human highlight reel. So any of those fights that Ilia Topuria comes back and faces will be exciting. And what's unfortunate, what's not exciting, one person that's not going to find it very, very fun for them will be Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan has been on the outside, looking in for a while, wanting another chance at proving that he is the champion of the world, that he could become the lightweight champion of the world. But Dana White doesn't look like too keen on giving him that title shot anytime soon. I don't believe he's even going to get that title shot or even a sniff of that title shot this year. My personal opinion, because you got Ilia Topuria coming back in sometime in June, July, and going to defend that belt. Then there's a possibility in New York we will make that mega fight happen between Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev, where that is a huge if Ilia Topuria is still champion of the world. Now, if Ilia is no longer champion, and somehow whether the winner of Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett beats Ilia Topuria, then I could see 100% that Arman Tsarukyan gets the next shot at that. But if Ilia Topuria is still your champion, I do not see the UFC giving Arman Tsarukyan a shot at that belt. I believe they are going to want to have that super fight with him and Islam Makhachev. That's my personal opinion, guys. But that's the news I got regarding the UFC, regarding the MMA world. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know what your guys' debate is. Let me know what you guys' questions are. Let me just know what you're thinking about the recent news that we've been hearing within the MMA world, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.